Mr. President-elect and former President.
Thank you.
Donald, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today.
I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get.
A lot was said on the campaign trail, like Trump is a dangerous threat to our country and our democracy. Was there an apology today?
What he says still stands. And it's not just him. You heard this from former staffers. What we want to be also very clear about is the importance of listening to the will of the American people.
Certainly looked at it like that because, I mean, I just didn't like the optics of a convicted felon sitting in the White House near a fireplace. I didn't like it. But what are you going to do about it? I didn't love
it. I wanted to go live to talk about The View. Donald Trump went to the White House. We spoke about this a little bit yesterday. Donald Trump went to the White House to meet in its traditional form to meet with the outgoing president, right? They meet, they shake hands, pretty awkward, right? Because they spent most of their lives and careers calling him Hitler. And so it's kind of ironic to me that you would be so friendly and happy and encouraging and supportive of Hitler, the threat to democracy. And the hags on The View obviously wanted to put their 2 cents in because they have been telling people for the last several years that Trump is a threat to democracy. Trump is the biggest threat this country has ever seen. Trump is going to destroy the country. Trump is the Nazi country. Trump is even worse than Hitler. Some of them probably would leap out there and say that he was worse than Hitler, which is insane. This video is brought to you by Incogni, brought to you by Incogni. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this yet, you need to get from up under that rock because your personal information, your emails, your address, and all that is being sold online. When you go put your information in some companies, and they may not notify you of this, they take your information, they sell it to others. That's why later on you get 15 phone calls, people trying to sell you something, people trying to advertise to you on email, just cluttering up your phone, cluttering up your email base. And that's because they're selling your information. But Incogni does a lot of wonderful things to curb this. But let me tell you this real quick because a lot of people have this question. They confuse a VPN with Incogni, okay? There's a very big difference. A VPN is responsible for protecting your data on a Wi-Fi service, and which means that if you go to a place, you have a VPN that protects it. So if you go on Wi-Fi, they can't extract it on a Wi-Fi service. What Incogni do is Incogni will actively hunt down and remove whatever personal information that they have of yours that have already been compromised, okay? They'll send on your behalf a data protection law compliance request to all the companies to remove your information from their database. Now let's take a look at the Incogni dashboard that you will get when you sign up with Incogni. And obviously this is not my information because I didn't want no chance of my information to get online, given the fact that I got millions of people that are watching these videos. Also, but this is my video producer, this is his information. And just think about this for a minute. I have millions and millions of people that follow me all over social media. My name is everywhere, SEO, you name it. And my video producer is not publicly known like I am. And look at how much stuff that they're actively working on his behalf. They sent out 261 requests, 44 in progress. They actually have completed 217. They saved him 162 hours. If I put my information there, it'll be 400 years of information that they've saved. So like most of you guys that are watching, you're probably not a public figure, but you can expect this much to be recovered on your website. Okay, y'all, we'll put the links in the description section. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code Tatum, and the link will be in the bio. And if you use that code or you use the link, you'll get 60% off an annual plan. You cannot beat it. Protect your data with Incogni today. So with all that being said, I think that it is reasonable for us to critique The View for the things that they've said. All right? So let's go to the View clip real quick, and you can see these cackling hens lose their hat. Now, some of you guys know the reference. Lose their hat is a nice way of saying losing a double snakes, if you know what I'm saying. Roll the clip.
Welcome back. President Biden made repeated warnings about the danger of you-know-who and everything he poses to democracy leading up to the election. He spent his campaign insulting Biden. So a lot of Americans apparently were surprised at what happened when the two met face to face at the White House. What they think was going to happen? A knockdown, drag out? Watch the clip, please.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President,
Thank you.
Donald, congratulations.
Thank you.
And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that
I
today.
appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get.
A lot was said on the campaign trail, like Trump is a dangerous threat to our country and our democracy. Was there an apology today?
What he says still stands.
No, it doesn't.
And it's not just him. You heard this from former staffers. What we want to be also very clear about is the importance of listening to the will of the American people.
So, I mean, perhaps Biden was doing what he does. You know, he's been in a long time. So, you know, smooth transition means smooth transition. Did they think that it was going to be he's going to say, "Yo, what did you say about me, punk? Pow!" No, that wasn't going to happen. And, you know, I say women age better. That's just my
That's very misogynistic.
A couple of old guys.
Well, they are a couple of old guys.
Two old white guys living in another century, and it's the smoothest. It's gonna be the smoothest trend, like greatest smoothest. I can't see. He's given to hyperbole. That's an English term for souping it up, and that is Trump.
It is Trump.
Thank you for the English.
And by the way, how you're saying that Biden should have been nice, not as nice, right?
No, I think that's no. Some people
I
are
think
saying he shouldn't have been. He should not have
think
been.
it's
as-
But they
Important that he
have
be a
gone so
statesman.
low that there's nowhere to go but up.
Here's my take.
That's true.
It was the
Hold
right
on,
thing
before
to
she
do,
say
and it was
that,
always what
before
Joe
the
Biden was going
face-to-face talk, misandry is kind of the term, I guess, if you're being a certain way against men. So I want to correct that first of all. It is very clear. It is very clear that, you know, these people have been lied to and been lying to us. They know for a fact Trump is not a threat to democracy. They were saying that to win an election. And now that it is apparent that they don't really feel that way, given Kamala's concession speech, and now the transfer of power between Biden and Trump, that they don't feel that way. It wasn't real. They didn't feel like he was a real threat. If they did, they would have mentioned it in their speeches. But yet they say, "Oh, I hope to give you everything you need." I mean, to be honest, you could say people wouldn't be mad at Joe Biden if he didn't shake Donald Trump's hand. Because he's Hitler. Why would you shake Hitler's hand? If a person is a threat to democracy and on day one he's going to be a dictator and he's going to throw all his political dissidents in prison, then why would you shake that man's hand? Why would you shake a man's hand that took advantage of women? They call him a rapist and everything else. Why would you shake that man's hand? He liked to grab him why would you shake the hand he liked to grab him by it with? Come on, if the man was that bad, they wouldn't be acting like this. Because we know it's all bull shenanigans. Roll the clip.
do, and I think just as Barack Obama extended him the courtesy. But I get why so many Americans didn't listen to warnings from people like me and others about our concerns about Donald Trump. Because what they see is a political season where Joe Biden says he's a fascist, a threat to democracy, and they think, oh, it's just a hypercharged political season. It's like WWE. They're going to go crazy, but then it's all kind of fake, and they're going to shake hands at the end. And I do think that some of the public sees this, and they're like, okay, so was that all totally overstated? Or was he just saying that to win or to scare people about Trump?
No, this is what you do. You show up, you shake hands, and you prove that the democracy stands. The voters decided. You show up and you pass it off. And
unlike
I think
he did.
But there are a lot of people having this conversation, and I would say that faux rage of like, this is normalizing. That moment is gone. You can stand by who you voted. I still think he was a threat to democracy purely because the thing that got me was the inability to accept the election results, to peacefully transfer power. So I can sit here today and say, I still think that, but this is how it works. This is what we do.
And by the way, I totally agree. I'm just giving the perspective of people who look at this and are like, wait,
well, you're
so
not alone.
was
A lot of
Biden
people said
serious
that.
about
Well, I
this?
certainly looked at it like that because, I mean, I just didn't like the optics of a convicted felon sitting in the White House near a fireplace. I didn't like it. You know, and I think when Biden said that he was a convicted felon and had the morals of an alley cat, I agree with that. But I also agree with the notion that Biden is a statesman, and this is how it's done.
That's my point.
He is trying to model for President-elect
And
Trump.
we'll get rid of them in 2
However,
years.
it's not going to work.
Get rid of
Well,
them.
It's not going to work.
You know, it may not work, but it is still. But you still have to try
But you gotta
because
try.
that's what we do. We
That's
still
what
have
you
to
were
try.
protecting democracy.
Yes, and so now, you know, again, the people spoke, or somebody spoke. We're assuming it's the people.
I hope it's the people.
I hope it's the people. And
Who else would it be?
whoever spoke, we are recognizing what was said, and we are allowing the process to go through. It will be up to you all to figure out how you want to deal with it. We'll be right back.
I hope y'all never come back. Well, no, let me stop lying. I hope y'all keep coming back because I'm going to keep making content on y'all. Thank you, The View. I need the View have a room here somewhere. They sponsored one of these rooms here. The View is a bag of hags that literally have no real perspective. Donald Trump is none of those things that they said he was. He is not misogynistic. He's not xenophobic. He's not a racist. Donald Trump is not a threat to democracy. Everybody and their mama now know, and they're going to know even further now that we have a real attorney general in place. They're going to know what actually happened on J6, and people are going to see how deceptive and evil the mainstream media is. And therefore, people are going to dislike them even more. The average person that have a connected brain stem understands very clearly that Donald Trump is not a threat to democracy. The guy was the president already, and he did a tremendous job. He wasn't a dictator. He didn't put anybody in prison, which he should. Hillary Clinton should be in prison today. He didn't do any of those things. He was very kind to them in many ways. They just didn't like how brash and straightforward he was. But now, things have changed. There's a new sheriff in town. I love it. I mean, from the border czar to the defense secretary to the attorney general. I mean, you got no nonsense people in there saying, screw you, we're going to fix our doggone country. And that's what we want. That's what we need. And if you can cry themselves to sleep every night of the week and act as if he's being patriotic. No, that's not patriotic. Y'all quit acting stupid. If it was really a person that's Hitler that's going to put people in internment camps, if that was really the case, then you should not transfer power easily and peacefully. And the people will understand. But what you have to realize, which they have been lied to and deceiving us for a very long time with, what you have to realize is that the people spoke because the people know the truth. It's only blue-head devils that think that that Kamala Harris is a better candidate than Donald Trump. He's a felon. Here's the thing that bothers me about the felon argument. People that commit felony crimes, there's different level of felonies. Just being a felon ain't the end of the world. It depends on what felony you're convicted of. Donald Trump is being convicted of felonies with no victims. They convicted him of a felony of a clerical issue where he transferred money here and here to allegedly cover up something over here that had nothing to do with nobody. It had nothing to do with his campaign, had nothing to do with politics, had nothing to do with a pay to play. It had nothing to do with absolutely unequivocally nothing. Somehow he may or may not have slept with that woman and he didn't want the world to know it. So he had his lawyer take care of it. That felon, y'all act like can't even be in the White House. Bill Clinton had the intern on her knees at the White House, rubbing her knees on the carpet. And that man is married. in the White House having with the intern. And he okay to be in the White House? You talk about there was accusations against Bill Clinton of him mistreating women. There's accusations of Joe Biden mistreating women. Joe Biden's niece claimed that she felt like she was sexually manipulated by Joe Biden. She wrote it in her journal because he used to take baths with her and did not protect her from other predators that were in the family. Or not the family, but a family friend. It appears that that's what she said. In a confirmed diary. The diary was stolen. It was given to the media. The person who stole it went to jail. And Joe Biden's his daughter confirmed that the diary was hers, so the person can be prosecuted. And in the diary, it said all these negative things about Joe Biden. Joe Biden did the eulogy of a Klans member, former Klans member. He said Strom Thurmond was his mentor, and Strom Thurmond was an open racist. What are y'all even saying? If you really want to get to the brass tacks of it, your boy Joe Biden is worse than anything Trump could have ever done. And then Hunter Biden. You know what kind of disgrace Hunter Biden is? First of all, Hunter Biden, y'all don't know this. Hunter Biden was sleeping with his dead brother's wife. And in testimony, he got her smoking crack. But Donald Trump is a bad father. I think Joe Biden a bad dad. His kid, look at his kid. I don't know how his daughter doing, but his kid's cracking up.